If you're just getting started in your project management career, you might be asking yourself, what classes do I need to take? And do I need a degree? I've been coaching and mentoring project managers now for a little over 15 years, many of whom have gone on to have very, very successful careers. Today in this video, I'm going to share with you the advice that I've shared with them. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 different paths that I think you can take when it comes to getting your education, your certification, and landing that first job. Also, I'm going to do something a little bit risky today. I'm going to share with you my biggest regret about how I got my start and what I might have done differently if I could do it over again. Also, if you stay tuned, I have a very special offer for you, which we'll talk about at the end of this video. It's an offer I think you'll be interested, especially if you're just getting started in your career. However, having said that, I think you're going to enjoy, or it would be something that would be very useful for you regardless of where you are in your career path. In the spirit of our theme for this month, for the remainder of this month, and for next month, this video is really speaking mostly towards people who are just getting started in their career. It is also somewhat North American focused. However, having said that, a lot of what I'm going to say to you today will apply regardless of where you are in the world. So in order to land a PM job these days, if you look at the job boards and you look at the postings, almost every single project manager job requires a PMP certification. Rightly or wrongly, that's just the way that it is, at least here in North America. There's a lot of debate around the value of a PMP certification, and that's a subject for a whole other video. But that remains, you need one in order to get a job in most cases. So when you think about what classes you might need to take to get started, knowing that you're going to need a certification, I would recommend finding classes that help you prepare to take the PMP exam. Now, there are 2 certifications I want you to be aware of. There's the PMP, which is for project managers. Your prerequisite to get a PMP is that you actually have to have project management experience. And in our next video, we talk about that chicken and egg scenario. In order to get the designation, I need to have project management experience. But in order to get a project manager job where I'd get the experience, I need the PMP. A lot of people ask me, like, how do I deal with that chicken and egg scenario? And we will cover that in the next video. But just know that the PMP is for project managers with experience. There's another little known, lesser known certification that PMI offers, and that's called the CAPM, the Certified Associate of Project Management. It's the same test, but you do not have to, or you're not required to document that you have previous project management experience. So with no experience whatsoever, you can take the test, you can get your CAPM. Now, what does that give you? A CAPM actually makes you eligible for a lot of entry-level PMO jobs, such as the project administrator or project analyst, project control officer. There's a lot of different names for those entry-level roles, but essentially these are the people that work with and alongside experienced project managers to help those project managers manage larger projects and programs. It's an awesome job for someone just getting started because you get to work alongside experienced PMs in large projects, so you get to understand how all of those things work, and your ass is not on the line because it's not you. You're not managing the project, you are assisting the project manager. So a PA job is actually an excellent job for people to get started. Okay, so let's get to the other juicy topic here, which is, do you need a degree to be a successful PM? And the short answer to that question is, no, you do not. A successful PM is a person who has the ability to bring a bunch of different people together to pool their skills and their resources to achieve great things. A degree, whether you have a degree or do not have a degree, doesn't determine whether or not you can do that. Usually it's your experience that allows you to do those types of things. In the project management world, experience is king. However, having said that, if you want to manage specific kinds of projects, For example, if you want to build rockets for NASA, or if you want to build oil platforms in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, or if you want to build bridges and skyscrapers and things like that, then you probably will need a degree in some other discipline before you can be considered to be a PM on some of those projects. So for example, if you want to build bridges for your local municipality, you're probably going to need a civil engineering degree before you can even be considered to be a PM who might be in control of a project team who's building the next Golden Gate Bridge. So in those cases, if there's very specific kinds of projects you would like to manage, then my path number one out of the 3 paths that I said we would cover today is get a degree in a different discipline, whether that be a scientific one or an engineering one, get your designation, and then begin your project management career, begin amassing your experience. So that's path A, we'll call it. Now, other people will come to me and say, hey, Jason, but at my local college or university, I actually see curriculum or degrees for project management. Are those good ones to get for project managers? And I would say, absolutely. There's actually, I'm really overjoyed because when I first started my career, there was no such thing as a degree in project management. It would have been cool if there was, but there wasn't a whole lot of classes available to us 25 years ago. So those, I'm sorry, I take it back. There were classes, but there wasn't actual curriculum and degree programs for it. I've looked at some of the curriculum for the local universities and things here in Canada, like in and around Toronto, and I'm really happy to see the types of classes that are included. They do cover a lot of the soft skills that a person might need in order to be successful. And they get into business theory and how to make solid business decisions, and they get into finances and all of the things that might make a PM successful. So I think the curriculum in some of these undergraduate degrees is really awesome. I'm also hearing great things from the students that come out of those programs and that start working for me in PMOs. I listen to them about what they were taught, the experiences they have. They do a lot of work experience as well. So you have several projects that you manage as you go through your degree program, such that when you get to the end, you have the requisite experience to apply for the PMP right away. So in that respect, it's really good. So yeah, it's a good option. And so path B would be project management degree. Take those classes and those courses, get your PMP designation, and then begin your career and start getting your experience. But then people will say, but Jason, you said like you don't have to have a degree. What should I do? Like, should I get the degree or should I not? And my answer to that question is, if you can afford it, then go for it. Because, there's nothing better. I mean, I love learning, and there's absolutely nothing better than having the opportunity to sit down and devote most of your brain cycles to just absorbing new information and learning new things. I think it's fantastic. And if somebody can afford to do that, if they have the time and they have the money, then I would say, go for it, do it. Like, I think it's a great thing. But if you can't afford it, then I'm here to tell you, don't sweat it. There is a path for you, and that's the third path. The third path is no degree, find a class, get your certified associate of project management, get that entry-level job, be a PA or PCO for, 3 years, 4 years, then get your PMP because you'll have the requisite experience at that point, and then go and lobby for your PM job. It's not a less than path, in my view, because 3 to 4 years of real world experience on projects is just as valuable, and depending on that experience, maybe even more valuable than 3 to 4 years in the classroom. So it's not a less than path. If you can't afford it, do not go into debt. That would be my recommendation. It's been my recommendation for years. Don't go into debt getting a degree in project management. It's not worth it. Just get out there, start working in PMOs, start in those entry-level roles, and work your way up. Chances are you're going to land your first junior project management role at the same time, regardless of which of the three paths you follow. So if you go for your degree, in fact, I think path number one, where I talked about getting like an engineering degree, then getting your PMP, then starting you're getting your experience, that's probably the longest path out of all of them. But it's worth it if that's what you want to do. If you want to build rockets for NASA, then you need some sort of degree in some sort of science or engineering. And if that's what you want to do, then you're going to want to. You're not going to be upset about putting in the extra time. In that path, though, you probably won't get project management experience in your, undergraduate studies for engineering. You'll probably have to finish that, get your CAPM, and then work another 3 or 4 years, then get to your PMP, then get into a project management job. So that's probably your longest path. But between path B and C, so B being you go and you get your project management bachelor's degree, you get your PMP at the end of that because they put in the work experience. There's a pretty good chance that you might land a junior PM job after that. But there's also the possibility that you'll have to take a PA role for a year or two anyways. So again, you take path B, it may be 3 to 4 years of university, then another year or so of experience before you land that first project manager job. Path C, where you started getting your experience day one, if you're good at what you do, I'd be very surprised if you don't have a junior PM job within 4 years. So you actually you just might become a PM faster without the degree. But the choice is yours. There is no right or wrong path for any one individual. It's a very individual thing. So in a nutshell, is it worth it getting a degree? Yes, if you can afford it. No, if you can't. Right? Do you need it? Absolutely not. So if you can't afford it, don't sweat it. That's pretty much summarizes the advice that I give to people in regards to degrees. Actually, I promised you that I was going to share a personal story about some of the regrets that I have about how I got started. So I'll let you in on a little secret. I do not have a degree. And for those of you who've known me for years, we may or may not have talked about this, and so you might be surprised to hear me say that. Now, I feel like I've had a very successful project management career. My situation is I wanted to go to school. I love learning, and to this day I will devote whatever cycles I can to the art or the act of learning. I did study to be an engineer, an electrical engineer actually, and I started university. And my family is awesome. My mother and father gave me the best childhood ever. But one of the things that was sort of beyond their ability to give me was a fully paid for tuition. So I had to get loans, and then we were able to get some government loans and things that were deferrable, i.e. I didn't have to start paying for them until school was over. But then I had to cover the balance with loans that were regular everyday loans that I'd have to start paying right away. So I had bills to pay. And the course, the engineering studies that I had chosen, the class, it was almost like high school. It was 4 to 5 classes a day, Monday through Friday. So I went to class during the day, and then I worked on the swing shift as a security guard at night. And the school and my job were about 90 minutes away from where I lived. So my days consisted of commuting an hour and a half to school in the morning, taking my classes, jumping in the car, going down the street, doing the swing shift from 4 o'clock until midnight, and then driving an hour or so home, getting home around midnight, 1 in the morning. If I had homework, I mostly could get it done while I was doing my security job. That was the reason why it was such an awesome job. But I did that for marginally successfully for about 2 years. And it was really starting to get to me. And even at a very young age, it was hard for me to be getting by on only 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And that was a good night. Some nights I would have extra work to do, and I might not get more than a couple of hours of sleep. So it got to the point where I was so tired, I was falling asleep on the road, which was very dangerous. And then there were many days on year 2 when I'd pull into the parking lot of the university and I would just fall asleep. And I'd miss a few periods, first and second period of classes. And after a while, I'd missed so much class. One day they sent a letter home saying, just don't come back. You're obviously not taking this seriously enough. And that was devastating to me. And I really wish I had found a way to make it work. Looking back now, I probably could have been more creative. I probably could have found different ways to finance it. But at the end of the day, what ended up happening was the moment they said, don't come back, the classes ended, the deferred loans were no longer deferred, and those came in. I had a whole bunch of additional bills to pay, and then I just started working my ass off to pay all of that, the money that I owed. So I walked away without a degree. I walked away with a whole lot of debt, and I ended up working for the next several years, sometimes 2 and 3 jobs in order to get by. But I was motivated, and I learned a lot. And I went into sales, and then from sales I went into IT, and then because at the time anyone could get into IT. If you were technical, you were magical back then. So I was able to get an IT job, and then from there I got into IT management, and then from there I got into project management, and then the rest is history. But my biggest regret was that I wasn't able to find a way to get a degree, and then years later, I might have been able to go back and finish. I just regret not having it. And sometimes I look around. I mean, I'm in the company of people who have master's degrees and PhDs because I'm working with executives with a lot of credentials. And sometimes I let that get to me. I think, oh my goodness, they're so much more qualified than me. But then I remind myself of all of that I've accomplished. And I would say that I don't think I have a less than career than anybody out there with a degree. And in fact, I hire a lot of people fresh out of university now. So take that for what it's worth. I offer this story to you because for those of you who are out there and you're thinking you can't afford to go to university, I'm here to tell you, you could be very successful without it, even in this day and age. In fact, and this is why I keep coming back to, go if you can afford it, because there is absolutely nothing better in my view, than learning. Learning is awesome. I mean, that's what makes us human beings, the fact that we can learn new things. So if you can do it, then do it. Absolutely. More power to you. But if you can't, don't stress. You can still make a difference in this world. You can still have an awesome career. Just go do. Just go do. Get off your ass. Get out there. Get the experience. Work your ass off. And do your best to make everybody else around you successful. And then everything will take care of itself. And so I share that story with you because I hope for some of you, that it's an inspiration, just that you don't think to yourself, well, gee, I could never have a high-powered project management career without that degree. It's absolutely not true. So with that, I'm going to end this video, at least the topic of training and education. I hope you found this valuable, and now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about a project that I'm working on. I've been training project managers now for a little over 15 years. And most of that training has been in a classroom setting. In some of my more recent roles as a freelancer, I've gone into organizations and I've seen project managers managing very large programs and projects who are struggling with the basics. Basics such as how to pull a project plan together, how to pull together an estimate, how to establish themselves as a leader. And I've taught classes for years in person on how to do those things. I'm working on a project right now where I'm taking everything that I used to give in the classroom setting and I'm putting it into an online format. I've already started filming the video portions of the course. There's also going to be very practical pieces to it and a lot of templates and everything else. And I'm really excited. I'm putting it together now. And I'm going to pilot the course on June the 1st of this year. That's my goal. So as a project manager, I really hope I hit that date because now it's public. Everyone knows that's when I'm planning to pilot, June 1st. Now the pilot, obviously as with any pilot, I'm testing out the functionality, whether or not the messaging is right and whether it resonates, whether people are getting real value out of the course. And I'm just testing the format out and the technical aspect of it. Whether or not logins and getting access to to, the course and everything works and that sort of thing. So for those of you who are watching this video, if you made it all the way to the end, then you're one of the few people who is finding this information valuable. I mean, these videos are getting thousands of views, over 250,000 views so far on these videos. But a very small percentage of you, because I get the statistics, make it all the way to the end of the video. So if you're one of those people watching me right now, I have to believe that this information is interesting to you, that it's useful to you. So if you're one of those people, I'd like to give you a special offer. So this course, when it's done, I will probably have it on offer for somewhere in the neighborhood of $250, like $249. But for the pilot, for those of you who are interested, I'm putting up, if actually up in the upper right-hand corner for you, I'm going to put a card on this video that if you click on it, you can go to a landing page where you can express your interest in joining the pilot group. And if you get on that list, I'm going to have this landing page available until May the 18th, at which point I'm going to close it down. So between now and May the 18th, if you go express your interest in the pilot, you can join the pilot for only $5. It's a token amount. I'm just trying to weed out the people who, aren't going to take it seriously. But $5, join the pilot, get on the list. When the pilot opens, I will send you a note with your own special link, and you can join the pilot for $5. If you enjoy these videos and you like the format of them, the training will be even better because it's going to have some exercises and some scenarios. So it's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. But if the chats that we're having are resonating with you, then sign up for the pilot. I think you're going to find that the curriculum that I'm putting together is useful for you. For those of you who are just getting started out, and even for those people who've been doing this for years. So click on the card in the upper right-hand corner and sign up and get yourself on that pilot list. I'd like to ask you, though, however, to interact. If you think this was useful information, interact with this video. That's the only way this video is going to show up in the search, in the rankings. If you like the video, give me the thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me the thumbs down. Either way, let me know what you think. Also, tell me, did you learn anything new today? What path, if you're just starting out in your career, what path are you planning on taking? Are you going to do path A and go for that engineering degree, or are you going to go path B and actually get a project management degree? Or is path C the right one for you? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And for those of you who are already in your careers, help out some of the other viewers. Talk about your story. How did you get started? What kind of degrees did you get? What classes did you take? When did you get your certification? Talk about it with the group here in the chat. I think it'd be very, very helpful. And the more we interact with these videos, the easier it will be for other PMs to find. And so you'll be doing your part in helping our PM community, get involved. So with that, I'm going to end this video. Been a little longer than I thought, but thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next Friday.